Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be looking at Ethereum. Before we jump into the price action, just want to say thank you for watching. If you're enjoying the content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video. Leave us some feedback and also in the description you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out, it's free to join. Okay, so for the most part, we're still looking for the same thing here. We're still looking to see whether we have that potential of a direct push to the upside here. Looking for this as a bigger 1-2-1-2 pattern. Looking to move up towards this zone here of this 2095 range, looking for that to be a third wave of this wide wave count here. So, for the most part, we can still see this play out. However, this move up here is quite choppy. And at the moment, all we have is a three-wave structure up. So we can't rule out the fact that, we could still see something like this play out where we come down one more time, potentially look to target out this 1722 to this 1657 area again. So what I'm looking for here, we'll go into the micro counting of this in a second. But basically, I'm looking at this in two ways. We can either potentially count this into this high as a single five-way move, in which case we would potentially be looking for this lower area here of this 1587 range. So this would be a 50% retracement, and potentially even as low as this 1458 would still be viable. But once you start to break below this, it becomes less likely. So what we need to be looking out for here is that possibility of having an extension, because if we are looking for a third wave, potentially we could start to see this extend out here and it could start to get quite strong. So we need to be aware of that. We have talked about it in the previous videos. If we fail to hold this higher support zone here, potentially it could mean that we look for a retracement back down here towards this zone of this 1406 to this 1206 region. And then, we were also talking about some bearish scenarios previously where we could still look for a new low. So this needs to prove itself. There is that potential. We are looking for a bigger structure here, but it just needs to prove itself. We were talking about this, looking for that possibility of this either as an A, a B, and looking for a C, which could look to push towards this 218 area as a one-to-one, but we have actually met the minimum requirement of a C wave here as well. Potentially we can also count this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to the upside. This is still viable, but it's not my preferred count within this. But yeah, it is still a possibility. The fact we didn't cross this wave one, it is viable. The thing I don't like about looking at that as a fifth wave here is just the fact we came down so deep. But yeah, it is possible, so we can't rule it out either. We didn't actually invalidate this by crossing this wave one, so for the most part, that is also still valid. So if that's the case, we could actually look to start a bigger retracement to the downside, and that's what we were talking about. Basically within this key support area lower down, this tier one, this 1406 to this 1206 region. Okay, so let's get into sort of the micro count here. Um, so I'm looking at this in a couple of ways. Basically, we're looking for that possibility of looking. I'm going to come into 1 hourly here. I was initially looking for this as a fourth and a fifth wave here. The fact is, though, we've come down below this 50%, which makes us less likely. The, it is still valid for as long as we don't cross this as the 1752 range. And I would allow it only based on the fact that we would have had a shallow wave two here and this could be a fourth wave like this. The problem that we have here is time-wise, it's really getting towards the towards as deep as I'd like to see it. We've come up to sort of two times here on a zigzag. It's it's fine, but as a zigzag, you'd want this to be quick because this would have been a complex wave two here. Then that would be looking for sort of a simple move here. So we've just come up to like two times this the time that it took for the second wave here. You can see this by this blue line here. Basically, what I want to see now is this moving up here and starting to take some of these key highs here. So we really need to get back above this 1817 and this 1857 range because until we do, we know we could still actually look for the potential to break down. So we're going to go over that in a second. I'm going to just discuss this. The alternative way that we can look at this is potentially that this is a 1-2 here, and then we've got another 1-2 here. So we're going to discuss that now. And basically, what I'd be looking for within this is that possibility of something like this playing out, where this becomes a 1-2, this becomes another 1-2 here, and then we start to get a bigger move to the upside. So this is what we need to be looking out for. If we start to challenge some of these areas, come back down, find support above these levels, potentially that could set us up for a structure like this, which could then look to bring us up towards this 1971 area. That would be a 1.618 of this move here. So that would then really put us in that potential area where we could look for an additional fourth and a fifth. Obviously, if we do move up towards this 1618 area, we wouldn't be allowed to cross this wave one at this 1857, and then what we'd be looking for is support to come in somewhere around the zone of this 1894. If we were looking at this within because of this channel that we've had drawn here for a while, potentially we could see something like this: the third wave come into this high, fourth wave down into the channel, fifth wave up again, something like that playing out. But basically, this would mean that we would have to have additional structure here for this additional second wave and fourth wave. So if we do push up here, we're going to have to monitor this. It could look to be extending out, which would kind of fit into that idea of being within a third wave here. But yeah, we don't have confirmation yet. This is all just a big choppy mess over here. So we need to just get that confirmation, and then we can then potentially be looking for this bigger third wave target up here towards this 2095 area. So, this is a zone we want to be looking to try target out with this internal wave here. If we can't manage to get up to this 2095, then it makes it, you know, just a three-wave move to the upside. So this is what I'm looking out for. There is also the possibility, so talking about this looking to extend out, there is also the possibility that, within this we haven't finished a corrective move. And what we'd be looking for with that is basically with this same sort of idea, still looking for this wave two though. And what we'd be looking for then would be the potential we could actually look to come down lower here. And I'm going to just remove this five-wave move. Actually, I'll just leave it like that. So basically, we're going to be looking at this possibility that this wave two over here is not completed. And what we'd be looking for within this is the fact that, we'd be looking to actually try and come back down into the support zones um, of this 1722 to the 1657. And what I'd be looking at within here would be the possibility that, this whole move here could be a bigger flat correction where this becomes an A wave, we get a B wave up here, and then actually we start to break down. So the thing with this is it is possible that we could see this play out as a 1-2, 1-2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, and then we start to break down for this bigger C wave, in which case the target area I'm looking for, there's a couple of them here. So if it is to be a running flat, potentially this 0.618, which we're pretty much on, but the structure wouldn't fit the count, uh, would be a zone. Alternatively, if we drop down a bit lower here, the 1725 is an area to keep your eyes on. That would actually be coming back into these zones of the 1722 as well. Potentially retesting some of these bottoms, and then if it does extend out, potentially we could actually look for this to push down towards these lower ranges here. So that 1236 would be 1695, which ties in with this one here. And see, there's a confluence with that 618. So I'm kind of leaning a little bit more towards the fact that we could see this subtle here, but for as long as we hold above this channel that we were operating within for the correction, potentially this could start to move away. So we're gonna have to see how this plays out. Obviously, we've also pushed back into this other channel that we had drawn on here. We just had this off of these tops projected down onto these lows. So, we can move this around a bit now. I'm just leaving it as it is for now, just because of the confidence that it had at the moment with resistance over here. I want to see if we get a retest of this and then look to move away from it. But yeah, basically what I'm looking out for here is that possibility. We could see something like this as a 1-2. This is another 1-2, and then we look to break down for a bigger five-wave structure, looking to target out this zone. So that could actually bring us even as low as this 786, which would be this 1657 area. And then that could still mean that we are basically looking for that potential of a 1-2. And all it does is basically just move it just moves that wave two over. So this is still possible. I wouldn't want to see it get too much bigger than just a drop down here now. Otherwise, it starts to become a bit disproportionate to this wave one potential here. What we want to see is this key support area hold here, or alternatively higher up here. If we are looking at that extension, potentially we could be looking at these key zones here of these channel lines holding and then looking to push away. But if this is a third wave in progress ready, you know, if we have set up a 1, 2 and another 1 and a 2 here, really we want to see this start going now. Otherwise, it just becomes less probable the more time that we just spend mulling about in this area, that is actually what's going on within the structure. So that's what we're looking out for. The key zones, like I said in the previous video, they're still the same. Primarily, if we're looking for this additional 1, 2, we need to hold this yellow key zone here, the 1722 to the 1657. Alternatively, if we want to look at this possibility that, potentially we've completed this wave one into this high rather, and this has been a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 up here, then basically this lower range here would be this 1587 to this 1458. And then if we start to break down in a much deeper way, basically our support would be looking to potentially come in at either at this channel line, but this is why I like this idea of this green support zone here. There's quite a lot of confluence in this area, with some of these previous support that we had here. A retest of that could be quite an interesting situation, and potential good point to have a look at an entry. Obviously, not financial advice, but if we do fail to hold this zone, basically this 1206 is going to be our line in the sand. We start to break down below this, it starts to destroy the integrity of this move. It doesn't invalidate it. Really, invalidation's only by moving down and taking the lows at this 1074, but it just becomes less likely. Like we said before in the videos, something like a wick through, it's fine. But if we start to break down and then you start to consolidate underneath this, it probably means that you're going to end up taking these lows and heading down lower towards those targets that we've talked about in previous videos. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description, you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out. It's free to join. As well as that, there are affiliate links for both PrimeXBT and BYBIT down there. Both great exchanges that we use on a regular basis. If you do not have an account, using the affiliate link does help support the channel, and we do appreciate it. Everyone have a great day, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.